The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Socrates lived during the time of the transition from the height of the Athenian hegemony to its decline with the defeat by Sparta and its allies in the Peloponnesian War. At a time when Athens sought to stabilize and recover from its defeat, the Athenian public may have been entertaining doubts about democracy as an efficient form of government. Socrates appears to have been a critic of democracy, and some scholars interpret his trial as an expression of political infighting. Claiming loyalty to his city, Socrates clashed with the current course of Athenian politics and society. He praised Sparta, arch-rival to Athens, directly and indirectly in various dialogues. One of Socrates' purported offenses to the city was his position as a social and moral critic. Rather than upholding a status quo and accepting the development of what he perceived as immorality within his region, Socrates questioned the collective notion of might makes right that he felt was common in Greece during this period. His attempts to improve the Athenian sense of justice may have been the cause of his execution. According to Plato's Apology, Socrates' life as the gadfly of Athens began when his friend Charphone asked the oracle at Delphi if anyone were wiser than Socrates. The oracle responded that no one was wiser. Socrates believed the oracle's response was not correct, because he believed he possessed no wisdom whatsoever. He proceeded to test the riddle by approaching men considered wise by the people of Athens, statesmen, poets, and artisans, in order to refute the oracle's pronouncement. Questioning them, however, Socrates concluded, while each man thought he knew a great deal and was wise, in fact they knew very little and were not wise at all. Socrates realized the oracle was correct. While so-called wise men thought themselves wise and yet were not, he himself knew he was not wise at all, which, paradoxically, made him the wiser one, since he was the only person aware of his own ignorance. Socrates' paradoxical wisdom made the prominent Athenians he publicly questioned look foolish, turning them against him and leading to accusations of wrongdoing. Socrates defended his role as a gadfly until the end. At his trial, when Socrates was asked to propose his own punishment, he suggested a wage paid by the government and free dinners for the rest of his life instead, to finance the time he spent as Athens' benefactor. One day during the year 399 BC, Socrates went on trial and was subsequently found guilty of both corrupting the minds of the youth of Athens and of not believing in the gods of the state. As a punishment, sentenced to death, caused by the drinking of a mixture containing poison hemlock. Socrates' last words are thought to be ironic or sincere. Socrates speaks his last words to Crito. "Crito, we owe a rooster to Asclepius. Please, don't forget to pay the debt." Socrates turned down Crito's pleas to attempt an escape from prison. Xenophon and Plato agree that Socrates had an opportunity to escape, as his followers were able to bribe the prison guards. There have been several suggestions offered as reasons why he chose to stay. 1. He believed such a flight would indicate a fear of death, which he believed no true philosopher has. 2. If he fled Athens, his teaching would fare no better in another country, as he would continue questioning all he met and undoubtedly incur their displeasure. 3. Having knowingly agreed to live under the city's laws, he implicitly subjected himself to the possibility of being accused of crimes by its citizens and judged guilty by its jury. To do otherwise would have caused him to break his social contract with the state, and so harm the state, an unprincipled act. 4. If he escaped at the instigation of his friends, then his friends would become liable in law. The full reasoning behind his refusal to flee is the main subject of the Crito.